Hey guys, welcome back to Some Control Chaos. Today I'm going to be doing my Game Boy and Game Boy Color game collections. I was going to separate them until I realized that'd be kind of a dumb idea because the Game Boy Color video would probably be like all of 5 seconds long. Because I thought I had more, but as it turns out I only have one Game Boy Color game. But I'm going to be doing it in order as much as I can, like the original idea I had was to shoot them in chronological order of their release date. So we'll move on to Game Boy. Now you saw this one in the other video, it was the spoiler. I have the Star Wars game for Game Boy. It's kind of shitty. It's really hard. Unless you play it on the TV or on a Game Boy Advance SP, it's really hard to like do proper controls and know where you're going. At least that's the troubles I've had running it or playing the game. So next we have Dr. Mario. I wish I had the actual Game Boy Mario games that came out that were basically like the original Mario game, but I thought I did, but I don't. I think I had them on Game Boy Advance, actually. I'll have to check on that. I'm going to be doing that video here soon, but I haven't had time to drag everything out and look. Alright, moving on. I do have this one, though. Now that I remember it. You even got it in a little plastic case. It's the Wario Land game. Hang on. Trying to do this one-handed isn't easy. As you can see there, if it'll focus, Mario Land or Super Mario Land 3. The other ones were just Super Mario Land 1 and 2. But they turned this one into Wario Land and put that right there in the bottom, I think. Oop. It's actually kind of loose. I need to tighten it because you can, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like sliding oh so slightly. So you can hear it like it's not completely tight. So I probably should tighten that down so nothing inside like it's rubbed or disrupted. But I actually love this game. I had it. A friend of a relative gave my first cartridge to me and I lost it. Then I had to re-buy it and it was worth it because I don't know why, but I love this game more than pretty much any other Mario styled game that I've played like this. It immediately stuck out to me. Let's see, moving on, we have Tetris. Again, every mom's favorite game. Ah, shit, get out of there. I don't know why, but I actually prefer the NES version over this one. I guess it's because you can play it on a bigger screen. Hang on, there's something on the lens. There we go. But yeah, I heard stories how a lot of moms would actually buy a Game Boy just so as they could play this on the go before smartphones were a thing. Like, supposedly that's why a lot of kids got their Game Boy to begin with, was just because of this game. Like, their moms would steal it and play Tetris. So, now we got Pokemon Blue. Now, just because I have blue does not mean this is my preference. I want red. Because, you know, Charizard. But I have this one because it was the cheapest at the time, and I couldn't find red, so I bought this one. I want to get all three eventually. The red, blue, and yellow, I think. I don't think they have green. I think it's just yellow, which is weird to me because I grew up with Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Game Boy Advance. Well, I didn't... I played these before those games, but when I first started getting into Pokemon was in the Game Boy Advance era. Alright, so for the last Game Boy Advance, or standard Game Boy game, we have Pokemon Silver. I have not had a chance to get into this because for the longest time the battery was dead and I had to get the screwdriver, open it, replace the battery. It was kind of a pain in the ass. I'm still not 100% sure if it's working or not. I imagine it is because it was saving my game finally. So I have to really dig into it and see if it is working, because I've heard a lot of people say this is like the best version of Pokemon there is. I don't know about that. I played Emerald. Was actually my first Pokemon game I actually owned. I just played the other games from friends' Game Boys, but like I said, I still played them, but I didn't own any until Emerald. And I love that game, so I don't know, I have to see if this is better than Emerald. So moving on to my Game Boy Color games, I only have the one. I thought I had more, but I do not. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. No, this is basic, actually this is exactly the original Super Mario Brothers game off of NES with a few add-ons. Like there's a time trial mode, there's a I think it's a race against a Boo mini game in there. This is like the game. If you're gonna get any Game Boy Color game, you want this one. It is so much fun. And I remember my cousin had this game, and I actually thought this was the same version that you got on the NES. But then I picked up the NES game, and I was completely wrong, because those extra things are not in the original version. I was kind of disappointed, actually. A similar thing happened when when I first got my DS, and I got Super Mario Brothers 64 DS. And I actually recently just picked up Super Mario Brothers 64 on the Nintendo 64, and I realized that you couldn't play as Wario, Luigi, and Yoshi in the game. It was just Mario. And I was really disappointed at that, because I wanted to see them on the Nintendo 64 game, but it's just Mario. So I'm learning that the handheld games sometimes are a lot better. Which is something I want to see in the near future from Nintendo, is being able to play DS, 3DS, and etc. on like the Switch or the 3D or the Wii U if they release like a late lifespan add-on, because I know they haven't completely stopped the Wii U yet. They're working on it. But I know as of now there is no way that at least I know of to be able to play your DS and 3DS games. Actually, is there 2DS specific games? I don't know. I stopped after the DS buying Nintendo handheld, so I'm kind of behind in that market. I've been saving up for a Vita, actually. Or a Retron 5. One of the two. Those are like my top 2 game consoles I want to get now, next to the Sega Dreamcast, which I hear a lot of people saying is a really good console to buy, but I never really heard of it until about 5 years ago, so... Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So that's my Game Boy and Game Boy Color game collection. Just a quick note. This is not my original Game Boy Color. My original one was that light green color. I actually just bought this like within the last 2 years because I wanted a Game Boy Color. But I like this color. I've never really seen this one before. I'm thinking it might be one of the more rare colors. I could be completely wrong, but I've never seen this color outside of this one, which is why I bought this one, because I've seen the purple, I've seen the light green, I've seen the blue, etc. I've even seen the clear see-through one, which a lot of people want apparently, but I've never seen this color, which is why I picked this one up. That and the screen wasn't fucked up on it, wasn't scratched to hell like my old one was. Again, I have so many... This was the first Game Boy model I owned, was the Color. Then I moved on to the first Advanced model, then the Advanced SP. But I lost all of those models. I don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared. So I had to re-pick up all but the original Game Boy Advance model. I just just went straight to the SP when reacquiring these consoles. So anyway, guys, that's my Nintendo Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. I'm gonna just put them out here in a little neat little row real quick for the outro next to the Game Boy. Try to get it all in one shot. Probably gonna be a thumbnail. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.